Once upon a time, there was a young man living alone. The man was not particularly bad-looking, and he did not work hard either. But for some reason he was unable to find a wife. But he worked the same way every day from morning to night, and lived a happy life even though he was alone. One morning, the man woke up earlier than usual, and went to the beach to do his work. It was a beautiful day, and the beach was quiet when there was no one there. And the waves were gentle. The morning sun sparkled on the water, and the white sand and green pine trees were a beautiful place. Since it was such a beautiful place, perhaps it must have looked beautiful, even when viewed from heaven. That day, some celestial maidens had descended from heaven to splash around in the water on this beautiful beach. And they were swimming close to the shore. The man did not notice the celestial maidens, but sensing someone's presence, they hurriedly got ready and hurriedly rode the wind back to heaven. The man was so shocked when he saw the hem of the last celestial maiden's sparkling robe disappear into the clouds that he nearly fainted. However, he saw something glimmering in the sunlight on the shore close to the beach. So he quietly approached it. What a beautiful robe! He had never seen anything so beautiful before. And it was so light that he didn't even feel its weight when he held it in his hand. And it smelled so good that the man desperately wanted it. So he folded it up small and put it away in his bosom. Just then, he heard a sad woman's voice from behind a tree, and when he turned around, he saw a young girl of the greatest beauty he had ever seen, hiding behind the tree, still naked, while he was searching for her feather robe that had been blown away by the wind. The celestial maiden had been sent away by the other maidens, and she was left behind on the beach, crying as she searched for her missing robe. "My daughter, what's the matter? You'll catch a cold in that outfit. Come on, let's put this on and go to my house." But pretended not to know. The man knew that the clothes he had in his pocket belonged to the girl. It was rare to see such a beautiful girl in town, and the man wanted to make her his own somehow. The girl thought about it for a while, but thinking that there seemed to be no other way, she reluctantly nodded and decided to go with the man. From that time on, the man's days changed completely. He enjoyed the delicious meals the girl cooked, went out to the fields with her, went to the mountains to pick flowers for her, and occasionally went out to town to entertain her. He took great care of her. So the man worked harder than ever for his daughter. Although the girl thought that this had turned out to be an unexpected event, she also began to feel fond of the man's kindness, the fun they had together, and the man who was so happy with everything she did. Even so, the man would not miss the fact that, at certain times, the girl's face would suddenly cloud over. She would sigh deeply, and tears would well up in her eyes. The man knew very well why this was, and when he saw the girl's sad face, he thought she was doing something wrong, and for a moment he considered returning the thin robe. But he still wanted to stay with her just a little longer. And so he kept quiet about the feather robe he had hidden in the attic. One day, while cleaning the house, the girl found a box in the attic that she had never seen before, and thought that if it was an important piece of clothing, she should store it in to keep bugs away. So when she opened the lid, to her surprise she found inside her own feather robe, which she had always wanted to have again. The girl took it and sat properly in front of the man, and said, "Your maiden, this is my feather robe as a celestial maiden. Why did you hide it?" I had so much fun and was so happy because you treated me so well. But because you hid my robe, we can no longer join together." Then she stood up, wrapped the robe around herself, and flew off into the sky through the open window. The man quickly reached out to take it back, but by just a moment the girl had already gone beyond his reach. The man called out to his daughter and simply stood there, gazing at her figure as she grew smaller and smaller towards the sky.